Welcome to Winners Academy Prayagraj. I am Samir Shukla with a new video titled Noun Phrase and Apposition. This is the second part of synthesis. Yesterday I taught you 25 questions on participles. After that, today we will look ahead. Today's questions are such that people get stuck. Like, here is my sister-in-law. Oh, her name is Nidhi. Or, I have never been to Mumbai. It is the biggest seaport of India. The problem is that while it is taught that in a noun phrase in apposition, apposition means the addition of one word to another as an explanation, How to do this in Hindi is that a noun or phrase is placed next to the noun being explained and the noun or phrase in apposition is kept between two commas. These two commas are the biggest matter, especially in long sentences where more explanation is given, meaning more is explained about that noun. So we place the apposition right next to it. But consider, here's my sister-in-law. Her name is Nidhi. Here, your noun is given at the very end. Or, I have never been to Mumbai. I have never been to Mumbai. And it is the biggest seaport of India. Look at both these sentences, and the second sentence is, Kalidas was a great poet. He wrote Shakuntalam. So great poet and wrote Shakuntalam. There are three words here for Kalidas which we can define by using commas. And today we will look into this. Related to this, all such questions will be solved today. And I will solve all 20 to 22 questions. If you watch this video completely, it will become clear. Okay? Let's see further. So let's come to our first question. What is our first question? Our first sentence is, Rana Pratap was a brave warrior. He was the king of Mewar. Now look, here we have the noun along with some phrases and words to explain it. So what should we write first, test? First we have to write Rana Pratap. Put a comma. Now we have to see what we can place next to it that explains it well. Meaning, if I take Rana Pratap's name, this should also come, or if I take its name, Rana Pratap should come. So I will write here, King of Mewar. King of Mewar. Now see, it will be clear that we have placed Rana Pratap, the King of Mewar, or the King of Mewar, Rana Pratap, in apposition. Meaning we place them side by side. They are also explaining each other. So we have to use commas as well. So this is the first comma, and this is the second comma. The last part of the sentence we write should start with a verb. So the verb can be a helping verb, or it can be your main verb. What we have to write here is, was a brave warrior. If you write it like this, it will be clear. Okay? Let's look at the next sentence, which is, here is my sister-in-law. Her name is Nidhi. Her name is Nidhi. Adds Nidhi ka. Okay, this is our sentence. Now look, there is a big difference between the first sentence and this one. In that one, it was well explained. Meaning, we could put many things in front, like Rana Pratap was a brave warrior, or he was the king of Mewar. In such sentences, there is a lot of trouble about how to form them. So you don't even have to memorize this. Just clear the concept of how to write it. Here is Nidhi. Nidhi. Nibi. Here is Nidhi. You place this comma. Now you also have to explain who Nidhi is. So here is Nidhi. My sister-in-law. You have to do it like this. Because you should consider these sentences as exceptions. Are they exceptions? Because they are not even taking two commas. Plus, the condition with them is how we should combine them. So you have to pay attention to these kinds of sentences so that you don't face problems. Our third sentence is, Babur defeated Lodi. This sentence is very good. Babur defeated Lodi. Difuhi Aduadi. Okay? Babur defeated Lodi. Full stop. And then Babur was a Turk. Okay? Babur was a Turk, and Lodi was the emperor of India. Lodi was the emperor of India. Lai, the high was. Now, when this sentence comes before you, what do you need to do? First, we have to see who is talking about whom, meaning Babur defeated Lodi. Babur was a Turk and Lodi was emperor of India. So if Babur is a Turk, is there a problem if we call him the Turk Babur? Babur? Like, the Indian Prime Minister Modi is Indian. So who is the Indian Prime Minister? Modi is. So if we form it like this here, the Turk Babur, what should we write? The Turk Babur. Now a comma is placed here. Now what did he do? Just put defeated. Defeated Lodi. Meaning he defeated Lodi. Full stop. Huh. And then who was Lodi? Lodi was the Emperor of India. You have to construct this sentence like this. Meaning, when there are three sentences, you have to see if the point being made is related to the subject. Someone's ethnicity, like where did they belong to? Was he a Turk? Was he Turkish? So here we put Turk Babar so it becomes clear to you. Let's move on. Let's look at some more sentences. Look, the next is Mohan is the only son of his father. Sadar. He died in an accident. Now, like in this sentence, you know what your noun is, right? Your noun is Mohan. Mohan. So you wrote Mohan. Now you have to see what is being said about him. Meaning, what is the well-explaining word for him? Which we can place next to it. So what is it? The only son. The only son of his father. We did this. Now we need to place one more comma. So what happened is died in an accident. Died in an accident. This is how you have to construct the sentence so that two commas are also placed. It is well explained too, and everything becomes balanced as well. Nalanda was once the biggest center of learning, meaning Nalanda was once a very big center of education. It is now a heap of ruins. So your main subject, what is it? It is Nalanda. Your word is Nalanda. You have to use a comma. Now look, there are two things about it. You can either do now a heap of ruins, or what is best well explained is once a biggest center of learning. So here you can do a biggest center of learning. After that, place a comma. Now here you have to start with the helping verb or verb. So is now a heap of. Is now a heap of ruins. It is done. So you have to do it like this. Next is Mr. Saxena is our principal. He is very learned. So immediately write Mr. Saxena first. Write Mr. Saxena first and place a comma. Now what is he? He is our principal, my principal. We placed a comma, and then what to write? Since you have to start with the verb for the last part, do is very learned. It is done. There was no problem. Next is I have never been to Mumbai. It is the biggest seaport of India. So how do you have to write it? I have never been to Mumbai. You have written up to here. Now you need to add a comma because we are talking about Mumbai. We are not talking about I have. So what is Mumbai? Immediately write is after Mumbai. Then a comma is the biggest seaport. Is the biggest seaport. Biggest seaport of India. This is how you should do it. This is how you should construct it, okay? So you must have understood how to do this, how to frame it, meaning the few short sentences that were there, I have cleared those up too so that it becomes completely clear to you how to do this, okay? Let's see what else comes next regarding this. Next, let's look at Shah Jahan was a great Mughal emperor. He built the Taj, and it is the finest building in the country. This is a slightly longer sentence, meaning 3 sentences combined into one. So first we have to turn 3 into 2, and 2 into 1. So how to do it first, Shah Jahan was a great Mughal emperor. He built the Taj. So what to write first? You will write Shah Jahan, add a comma. Okay, now what to write after that? Okay, now if you structure it like this here, it is better. Okay? A great Mughal emperor Shah Jahan. A great, but we have to take that word. So a great Mughal emperor Shah Jahan. Okay? Comma. Built well. He is famous for the Taj Mahal. So built the Taj, comma, is the finest building, and then you can write in the world after that, no problem. Next is Nehru. Was a great statesman, meaning he was a very great orator, a politician. He was the first Prime Minister of India. So first, you will write Nehru, and there is a well-explained phrase about him that he is the first Prime Minister of India. He is the first Prime Minister of India, meaning the well-explained phrase for him is that he is the first Prime Minister of India. Okay? Now add a comma after that. Now after that, you can write was a great statesman. Was a great statesman. See, the advantage of writing it this way is that you will never get stuck in it. Meaning, you only have to write the word that is main. So statesman, it is. Next is Mahatma Gandhi was a lover of peace. He had been once a lawyer, meaning Mahatma Gandhi loved peace or liked peace, and he was a lawyer and he preached nonviolence. He preached nonviolence. So if you want to construct this, first look at what we need to include. So a lawyer who is a lawyer. Who is the lawyer? It is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. So we have combined your two sentences into one. So a lawyer, Mahatma Gandhi, then add a comma, and now look at what to put here. First, see a lover of peace because that is what he valued more, meaning he was very fond of peace. He preached nonviolence, so obviously, nonviolence, his word for ahimsa, was very popular, So use preached nonviolence, and then add a comma. And write was a lover of peace. Was a lover of peace. If you construct it this way, it will work. Next is air is the first necessity of life. Meaning that air is the primary necessity of life. It is a free gift of nature. So first of all, you will write air there. After that, it would be better to write a free gift of nature. A free gift of nature, meaning that air is a free gift of nature. After that, add a comma and write necessity of life. First necessity of life, right? First here, first necessity of life, so you can form it like this. Or you could also do it like air, comma, first necessity of life, comma, is a free gift of nature. You can also do it this way. So these are your sentences that you need to read, understand, and do. Let's move forward and see some more sentences. Let's look ahead. Milton was a famous English poet. He was blind. Again, two sentences have come up, which is causing a problem on how to put them in apposition. First of all, you know that we are talking about John Milton, so write Milton. After that, see which one describes him better. You can either use famous English poet or blind. So Milton is fine. Milton. Now there is a word here that it is better if you keep your verb at the end. So Milton, a famous English poet, add a comma, was blind. Do it this way. If you were to do it like Milton, blind, it would look a bit strange because you cannot use the helping verb twice. And the helping verb that you need to use should be placed at the end, just because of it at the end of the sentence, so that is better. Education is an instrument of power. It's been the guiding factor of civilization. Meaning, what is education? It is an instrument of power that has always been the guiding factor in creating good citizens. Meaning, it is always considered a good factor. If a person is educated, then what should you do first? You should write education. Now see whether to write instrument of power or guiding factor of civilization. So the best phrase is guiding factor of civilization. Guiding factor of civilization. You write that. After that, add a comma. Then is an instrument of power. Instrument of power. If you write it like this, it is better. Next is Shakespeare wrote Julius Caesar. He was a great dramatist. So you already know. What will you write first? Write Shakespeare, add a comma. Now it is better to write wrote Julius Caesar than great dramatist. So write wrote Julius Caesar. After that, you write Was a great dramatist. Was a great dramatist. Similarly, one last sentence is left, which is Dr. Brown is my teacher. He lives at Rishikesh. He lives at Rishikesh. So Dr. Brown, comma, is my teacher, and then at the end, you can write lives at Rishikesh. Or you can also do it like Dr. Brown, who lives at Rishikesh, is my teacher, is my teacher. So you can construct the sentence in this way. I have covered the entire sentence. The one or two left are for you to do. Tell me in the comments section and share this video so it reaches all the children who need it. Okay, so let's end here for today. After this, we will come with the next section, which is the nominative absolute. All right, thank you.